So here we go. This is my Honda XR125 L4, and this is all of the parts for the master brake cylinder. And that is the Great White. Now you can see that it's partially disassembled already, and that's because it took me about 2 days to get it into this state. Is he going to jump in that bowl? No, good. Anyway, like I say, it was just solid. The piston was stuck in the master cylinder. There was no movement in it at all. The circlip wouldn't move. I mean, wouldn't even budge a fraction of a millimetre. The reservoir lid screws were solid, and I was in danger of ruining them, so I had to go easy. So it was soaking in oil, pouring boiling water on it to heat it up, soak it in oil, for about 2 days. And then eventually I got a bit of movement on the circlip, around the plunger on the cylinder, and I just kept putting oil on it, wiggling it a bit, and eventually I got some free play in the cylinder and managed to get the circlip out. And the same thing with the screws on the reservoir cap. They were solid, but eventually I got a fraction of a bit of movement and managed to get them out. Like everything on YouTube, it just looks like you just spin them off with your fingers, but honestly that was 2 days just to get to this point. The long part on the left hand side of the table is actually the wing mirror sort of stalk. I'm not going to be doing anything with that. The mirrors were ruined, so they'll just get replaced. The rubber sort of dust boot was also ruined. I mean, it was petrified. There's nothing left of it. The piston in the cylinder was just corroded. The seals were hard. The spring was rusty. So everything will need replacing. As I mentioned earlier, these screws just wouldn't come out. Just patience. Oil, heat, patience. Look how easy they come out. It's like YouTube. Yeah. Do it with your fingers. The lid's alright, it'll do. The rubber, it's a bit stretched, but once again, parts for this bike are just impossible. Can't find them anywhere. The replacement dust boot on eBay was about £10. When you've already spent 20 odd pounds on the kit for the piston, and then you've got to spend another £10 on the actual dust seal. So maybe that's not going to get done. So I'm just roughing it up, you know. I mean, the end of the brake lever looked like it had been scraped across a wall or a road, or who knows. So it's just really smoothing it out, roughing up the paint, just for respraying. It's just got to look better than it does now. So just going to give it a rough up. Kittens come to help. Great. This is a great example of why you should be careful when you're pouring brake fluid into the reservoir. All of the paint around the top where you fill it was it's just disappeared. It had all blistered, it had flaked off. A lot of the paint was just literally waiting to come off. It really needed a good scrub, sand it down, and I'll have to be more careful filling the reservoir. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of paint come off. Just polish up that surface. Bit of sandpaper, wet and dry. The lid, like I said, pardon my terrible camera work, but the lid's in good condition. It just needed cleaning. It'll do. The brackets, well, you know, they'll do. Switch is good. Boot, oh dear. Spring, piston, yeah. Screws and whatnot, they're alright. They'll clean up nicely. They'll be alright. So, that's all rubbish. So like I say, the cylinder was really corroded. I mean, the piston was solid in it. I couldn't move it for about a day. So I'm going to clean it out. Bit of fine wet and dry. The corrosion was particularly bad in the bottom. Just needed cleaning out, smoothing up a bit. So this is what I have. So really, looking at it, it's really just the brake lever and the actual cylinder that needs to be sprayed. It just needs tidying up. The lid's fine, like I say, quite nice. That'll go in the bin. So I went to Halford's, got some spray paint, grey primer, black enamel, some cellulose thinners just to degrease it. That's what YouTube tells me that I need. I have never painted anything properly in my life, so you know, this is all new to me. YouTube also tells me that I need to mask off all of the surfaces that I don't want to paint. I've never done this before. Like I said, I've never painted anything properly in my life, so I'm, you know, what a fiddling faffing carry-on this is, honestly. But the end result was alright, so you know, it's worth the effort. It's just I've never bothered doing it before. There's the Great White again, drinking his lager. So that's that all masked off, holes filled. Same with the brake lever, masked off. Ready for spray. Cats love you shaking some cans, they love it. There's plenty of channels on YouTube about spray painting. Watch one of them, don't watch me. Like I said, I just want it to look better than it did to start off with. Next video will be me putting it all back together, so, you know, if you want to watch it, watch it. Cheers anyway. See ya.